Now, before I get started on this review, I just want to let you guys know that I am not going to do a TNA lockdown review. I was actually out. I got back late, and by the time I got my stream up, unfortunately, all I got was the main event. And from what I'm hearing from other people's reviews, it was a bunch of crap anyway, so I kind of feel like I dodged a bullet. But anyway, I am going to do a Raw review, so let's get started on that. Now, I'm going to talk about the highlights and the lowlights of Raw, but I'm going to get started on the lowlights, my lowest points, the ones I did not like. And I'm going to talk about the opener. I love the opener for the fact the Hulkster was there, but I did not like the fact that John Cena came out. I understand that they were trying to promote the Wyatt family versus John Cena, so I get it. But with me personally, being a fan and actually getting started becoming a wrestling fan in the golden era, it's a very nostalgic moment for me. You remember how Andre the Giant got slammed by the Hulk Hogan at WrestleMania 3. I was blessed enough to see it on VHS. By the order, you remember all those moments that Hulk Hogan did and how Hulk Hogan actually put the WWF in the mainstream. It brought back a lot of memories, and you kind of want that moment just to be your moment. But having John Cena come out kind of ruined it a bit, but I understand why they did it, so I guess I'll just move on, even though I don't agree with it at all. There were two random matches that actually happened tonight, and I really feel like this should all be geared up towards WrestleMania and not have any randomness involved. The first random match was the Usos versus the Forgettable One and Ryback. Why? Like, I guess it's to give Ryback and the Forgettable One something to do, because let's face it, ever since they left Paul Heyman, they had no relevance. They still don't. And I really disagree with the fact that the Usos won on Raw. They should have won on, on WrestleMania, but that moment's gone. I have to learn to deal with it. But my biggest gripe is the fact that there was no interaction between the Usos and the New Age Outlaws. There was no feud. There was no heat. There was nothing going on between those two. Maybe some heat on the mic, but that's about it. The Usos act like they really didn't care. And the New Age Outlaws were talking crap about them, but they didn't really care if they were talking crap or not. There was no interaction, no chemistry, nothing at all with these guys. So I just felt like that the whole match itself was pointless, as well as the wannabe feud between these guys is useless. But I really feel that maybe at WrestleMania 30, this is going to be the way New Age Outlaws is going to bow out and not come back. Maybe. But the second random match of the night was Sheamus versus Christian. Why? Once again, why? If you're not going to put this on the WrestleMania card, why bother even having it on there? And the fact that Sheamus won twice kind of makes me feel like that they really don't care much for Christian going against a feud with anybody, because this makes him look really, really weak. So I really don't know what they're going to do, whether or not they're going to put him on the card or not, but I really feel it was pointless to even have this match. They need to start gearing up towards WrestleMania or have possible feuds going on after WrestleMania. But the matches themselves were actually pretty good. Like, I really was somewhat entertained with some of the matches, especially the match between the Rhodes brothers, and the two members of the Shield, Rollins and Reigns. Honestly, I guess I can understand why they have the Shield win cleanly, because you kind of don't want them to break up completely. Even though I really feel that all of these faction teasings that they have of them breaking up was way too early. I understand why they did it. But the one thing I don't get is that if you don't want your factions, or I mean, if you want, like, I know that the Real Americans are going to break up. It's a given. It shows in every match that I see that it's going to possibly have Jack Swagger being the defect, gearing him towards being the heel. But if you're gearing him towards being a heel, why are you putting heelish ideas in the head of Cesaro? Like, why are you allowing Cesaro to act like a heel? His actions towards Swagger was all heelish. Seriously, there was nothing face about it. If you want Cesaro to be a face, he can't act that way. But I really feel that WWE is kind of jaded on their idea of what a face and a heel is. I don't know, but I don't know what direction they're gonna go with Cesaro. But I really feel like the Zeb Coulter's number is gonna be up soon, because honestly, he lost his relevancy when he recruited Cesaro, and I feel like he's gonna probably walk out because he'll be tired of them fighting. He may do that at WrestleMania. Who knows? But I absolutely loved the moment with the Undertaker. I love the segment with the Undertaker because the Undertaker, and now from the last Raw, my Raw rant, and I think I was the only person that did a rant on Raw, and everybody else agreed with how the Authority handled things. I really feel that the Authority does not know how to control a crowd because they still did random chants. They still heckled people throughout the night. There was no control. But when it came to Taker, when Taker walked in the ring, you can hear a pin drop. No one spoke. Not a soul. That is commanding of the crowd without even trying. And honestly, Paul Heyman, it was great for him to be out there because not only did he give heel heat, he actually did feel, you actually saw the emotion that he had towards Taker, how scared he was of him, which really did help the segment a lot. But my biggest moment was the fact that I am not a big fan of Undertaker speaking, especially when he speaks this ridiculous holier than thou crap. But honestly, I like that this segment that he had was short, sweet, and to the point. And not only that, it commanded the crowd. Everybody was silent just to hear him speak. That is command, my friends. Not what the Authority did, not that ridiculous hijacking Raw that never happened and you think that they controlled it. They didn't. The control, in my opinion, from my view, true control is having respect of the crowd. And The Undertaker did that. That was a great segment to actually see. But moving on from there. Now, I didn't talk about the Divas at all because I really didn't feel like the match really mattered. Even though I feel like Eva Marie has indeed improved, as she has before in the past. She is getting better day by day, just like how Nikki Bella was back in the day. But Nikki Bella has definitely become stronger, and she has definitely become a true diva, in my opinion. She's starting to really get better at her craft. And I really am hoping that she feuds with Natalya, because that will be a really great match to see. I don't want Natalya to be champ. I really don't, because she's not that interesting anymore. But I really feel that Nikki Bella will actually bring more interest to the belt if she becomes a Divas champ. That's just me. But somebody needs to take it off AJ, because AJ's doing nothing for that title. Nothing at all. But there are two really huge highlights of the night. There's a main event, in my opinion, the main event of the night, and then there's a giant highlight of the night. Now, I'm going to go into the highlight first. The highlight of the night for me is how Hulk Hogan came out there and pretty much gave the idea to WWE. I think I'm shocked he actually said it was my idea, but Vince probably allowed him to say it since he really wants him to be there. The fact that he came up with the whole idea of the 30-man battle royal in honor of Andre the Giant. I love this idea. I absolutely love it. The reason why I do is because of the fact that it gives the mid-carders something to do. It gives them something to strive for at WrestleMania. Since they took out Money in the Bank, there's really nothing much for the mid-card to do. They have to give them something. So instead of doing these gimmick battle royals that they always do every year, they decide to do this in tribute to Andre the Giant. I think is wonderful, and I hope they keep this going. I hope this whole trophy thing continues to go on for every WrestleMania every year, because having that honor of holding that trophy, especially in the memory of Andre the Giant, I think is going to be an honor for every mid-carder out there. And it really does make me happy that they're doing this for them. And I hope they do continue it and not conclude it after WrestleMania 30. But let's talk about the major highlight, the major main event of the night. I'm not talking about the main event with Daniel Bryan and Big Show versus Randy Orton and Batista. I'm not talking about that. That was predictable. We already knew the outcome of that. That didn't matter to me. What mattered to me was the Occupy Raw movement that they had that was phenomenal. That was genius. The fact that I thought it was going to be like maybe 10, 30 random people in the ring. They had 100. They had 100, and it kept on coming. And not only that, it was hilarious to see the security guards go down there and be like, no, we're not dealing with that, and walk out. And then, of course, you have Stephanie yelling at him on the mic, whatever. Then you have Damien Sandow going down there. We haven't seen Sandow in a while. Have him go down there and be like, no, turn around and walk out. I thought that was great. I thought it was brilliant. And I thought it was great how they set up Triple H to agree to the match. I thought he was going to get so sick of Daniel Bryan talking. They're like, okay, you want to fight me? Fine, we'll fight. But it was really cool how you just saw Triple H lose every ounce of his mind. I thought it was phenomenal. I thought it was awesome. Not only that, not only that, Daniel Bryan was smart enough to conclude this, and they were smart enough to write that in, that how not only he is going to be fighting Triple H, one of the main eventers, I mean the guys that actually main event WrestleMania at one time, he's going to be in the main event. Not only is he going to be fighting a main eventer, he's going to be in the main event of WrestleMania. Seriously. They haven't really announced it now, but let's face it, it's going to happen. It's going to be Daniel Bryan versus Randy Orton versus Batista, people. I think that was a phenomenal setup. I thought that entire segment was awesome. That entire that whole segment, that whole promo was just phenomenal. Like I thought it was just absolutely great. Seriously, that was the best setup, the best WrestleMania moment. Well, actually, not even WrestleMania moment. It felt like a WrestleMania moment. It really did. It felt like a WrestleMania moment, but it was on Raw. They really did a good job building us up. Great promo, awesome reactions. The crowd loved it. Absolutely wonderful. I loved it. I enjoyed myself watching this. Seriously, I really enjoyed watching this. Seriously. And it was just the best setup ever. But I can gush on and on and on about what they did. But I will say this, nobody can say that Daniel Bryan is not being utilized anymore, because they are using his entire storyline to fuel every feud they can possibly think of with the Authority. So I really feel that they actually did a good job gearing up towards this. I think they did a really great job setting this whole thing up. But guys, my overall thoughts is this. I have nothing but positive vibes coming out of tonight's Raw. Seriously, I feel that they did a good job with all the matches building up to feuds and possible breakdowns of WrestleMania, except for maybe two matches that I feel that were random. But either or, the segment with Daniel Bryan with the Occupy Raw Yes movement, I think was phenomenal. And honestly, The Undertaker, it is always awesome to see him, as well as Hulk Hogan. I think they're doing a good job building up towards WrestleMania 30, and I think WrestleMania 30 is going to be a phenomenal event. But guys, I want to hear your personal thoughts on this. Leave a comment in the comment section below and send me a video response on how you feel about tonight's Raw, as well as whether or not you're going to watch WrestleMania 30. It's Nature Girl 30 signing off. Peace out. Later.